Jump Force Season 2 DLC has been awesome thus far. Shoto Todoroki has been one of the best Jump Force DLC characters to date, and the community generally approves of his addition to the game. The only thing left to question for the Jump Force community and my perfectionists here on YouTube is who are the final Jump Force characters for Jump Force Season 2 DLC. Well, in what is the single best Jump Force video here on YouTube, I, your host Perfection, the best undefeated player of the game itself, will be going over the new Jump Force Season 2 leaked list that covers characters from Yu Hakusho, Bleach, Hunter x Hunter, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Before that, however, since I already know you're going to enjoy the content here from the god of the FGC and the AFGC, hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell to get new anime info and discussions, anime games, ranked battles, and news coverage from games like Jump Force, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Dragon Ball FighterZ, and One's Justice 2 from the YouTube channel where the quality is in the name itself. Perfection. Okay, so the first character that we're going to be talking about in the first series we're going to be talking about is Hunter x Hunter, with the character Neferpito coming from the Chimeran Ants. Now, this character I can imagine is going to be at the top of a lot of people's list from the Hunter x Hunter series, and for good reason. They have a very diverse moveset, a great character design, and some interesting abilities. So the first ability that I can see coming into Jump Force is Dr. Blight, and it would work as a healing technique because that's pretty much how it functioned in Hunter x Hunter when she, reattached arms and whatnot. So I can see it like replenishing maybe 10 to 20% health each time it's used. And I want it to be done in a chunk because already we have Kurapika, who does like the gradual health regeneration, but I think we need a character that regenerates all their health in 1 second, like it's just one move, not like a overtime thing, just like, oh, I got 10 to 20% of my health back. And the reason that I did that is to promote face-to-face combat, because if you know your character is in a possession of a move like that, well, you really have to stay on them. And this is going to help combat camping, because if you have Neferpito and you just keep healing yourself and your opponent is running from you, it's really going to be a huge disservice to them to continue doing so. The next move that I could see would be puppeteering, and I see it being your general combo attack move where she summons like a Susanoo-like or maybe a puppet-like being that goes out and does maybe a general striking maneuver. This is just something that would be one of her moves, and maybe it could be 2 moves because maybe it could cover maybe a striking technique that sends the opponent flying and a striking technique that sets them up for another combo. Maybe like Star Platinum's Star Finger technique. Like, that's what I'm really going for here. Her ultimate technique would be Terpakora, and I probably butchered the pronunciation of that name, but it would be her ultimate technique that she used near her demise, and it would be like an all-out maneuver. Maybe it could be like Gon's technique, where once you use it, Neferpito is taken off the field. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section below, and you might see that posted in a future video. Now, moving on to the next series, we're going into the Bleach realm, and Bleach is really big right now with a pending return, and we're going to be talking about one of the Royal Guard characters and one of my personal favorite characters that I want to see come into Jump Force. We're talking about Curio Hikifune, one of the top Royal Guards, and she got there because of her creation of the artificial souls, and she was acknowledged by the Soul King himself. So her general technique is going to be the Cage of Life, and I can see them stretching this technique for 3 or 4 different moves, so I don't really have to go into a diverse different description of moves. Basically, the technique works like a trapping technique. I can see it working like Dio's blend technique, where she would put the Cage of Life around the opponent and it would draw the meter out of them. So let's say they had 2 meter. She puts the Cage of Life down, it takes away all of that 2 meter. And the highest I would go would be 3 meters, but I want this to be a dangerous technique because that's how it was depicted in Bleach. So that's what I want to do with Curio Hikafune, her ultimate, which I feel like would be a grander variation. Maybe it would draw out all of the meter of the opponent, because you know we do have some unique ultimates that have unique functionalities, like you have Asta's from Black Clover's, which seal techniques, right? Well, her ultimate could be a ultimate version of the Cage of Life, which would take all meter and all awakening gauge away from the opponent. That way they really feel it and they cannot risk getting hit by this ultimate. That's what I want to see coming from Curio Hikafune. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and you will see that in a future video. Now, okay, so now it's time to talk about Yu Hakusho. And of course, the character that I'm talking about is a fan favorite that comes from the Dark Tournament arc. Of course, this is a heavy hitter, key emphasis on heavy, Team Taguro's powerhouse, Bui. Now, Bui was a fan favorite character, he still is to this day, and I can see him introducing a very interesting mechanic in Jump Force, and I see him being meta shifting to Jump Force Season 2 DLC entirely. So, in his non-awakened state, of course, he's going to be brandishing his Shogun-like armor, his heavy armor, and he's going to be a slow character. However, this is going to be the difference about him, right? He's not going to be stunned by normal attacks. He's going to have super armor for at least the first few hits of a combo. Like, he can be stunned by charge attacks. Like, if you hold down triangle, maybe if you hold down square, he can be stunned by that. He could also be stunned or stopped by ultimates, but that would be it. He's going to be a monster that's able to slash through anything. Normal support attacks will not work on him. Normal combos will not work on him. He could just come in and tear through your entire team. Now his move set is going to be mostly consisting of heavy slashes, maybe throwing his giant axe around like a boomerang, since that's pretty much how he did it in the show. Like that giant super duper mega axe of destruction, he'll throw it, bam, hits you for a heavy amount of damage. Like maybe it would track, it would maybe move at a, I don't want to say slow, because I mean that would be kind of comical, but it would move and it would track the opponent hit for a huge chunk of damage. Again, this is a slow moving character that would be a brick wall of destruction. And his ultimate, I feel like, would be, and most definitely would be his battle or cross attack. And this would lead into something else. Now his awakening, I'm sure you've guessed by now, is going to involve him taking his armor off. And I'm kind of debating of whether I want him to take his armor off after his ultimate technique, because that might be a little bit OP. And again, you're going to see what I have in store here. So he takes his armor off. He begins levitating. He can still use punching combos, but he's a lot faster. So whereas before he was a heavy brick wall character, you hit that awakening state and he's fast. He can move. He's floating around. He's levitating. He can now change one of his axe attacks. Of course, all of his axe attacks are gone, because after he loses the armor, he doesn't use the axe anymore. That's gone, because now he's using his full power, his full techniques, and he's using his battle cross aura attack, just throwing it out haphazardly. Somewhat like Ichigo currently does with his Getsuga Tensho technique. Also, I could see him having different moves that involve linking combos, maybe punching maneuvers. Again, I want this character to be a complete change-up character. One, brick wall. Next one, he's a speed demon, moving around the map, hitting you for huge chunks of damage, because now this is Bui's true power. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you have any more specifics? Let me know, and you will see them reflected in a future video. Finally, we've come to what everyone else has been waiting for. We're going to be discussing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and their representative for Jump Force Season 2 DLC. And I'm pretty sure that everyone saw this one coming. Of course, I'm talking about the pink-haired monster himself, Diavolo. Now, Diavolo, I can see introducing some kind of interesting mechanics himself into Jump Force, and this is what I have in mind with him. Of course, you know this character has the ability to predict the future, erase time and do some different hijinks like that. So I was sitting here thinking, how would I translate that into Jump Force? And then it hit me. And again, this is something unique. So time erasure 1, and I've just named this as a random technique. This is what I have in mind. Would restore health. So let's say for the past, I don't know, 30 seconds of a match, right? You could go back and recapture that health. However, this is going to require 2 meter. So if you use 2 meter, you can rewind time or erase time and go back to a point where you had higher health. Yeah, so now I'm starting to incorporate his key ability. Now the next one is more of a combat ability. I'm trying to add different gimmicks here that would make the character feel unique and function differently from the other characters in the game. But now we're talking about his time erasure counter. And the way that I have this envision is, let's say he has 2 meter again, right? And he's in the middle of being comboed. This would be the first move in Jump Force to where if you are being currently hit and you have meter, you can use his time erasure counter to erase ever being comboed and to counter with a heavy hit. So now this places Diavolo in a tier all his own, because now he has a combo breaker, a true counter to combos in Jump Force. So that if you just go haphazardly with this man and you don't pay attention to his gauge, he can just counter you with his time erasure counter, come in and do a heavy hit, again, a heavy hit. And I imagine this working pretty much like Star Finger, so that he could set you up for potentially a ultimate, or he can link into another super attack for heavy damage. Now, the third move that I have envisioned for him is, again, another heavy hit, because the thing about King Crimson and Diavolo, they don't really use the barrage attacks like the Aura Auras or the Muda Mudas. He's more like one and done. He hits you one time and that's it. So I see him having a Star Finger like punch or attack. It's like a heavy gut punch that, you know, in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, when King Crimson does this sort of thing, he's known for leaving holes in his opponents. So I could see him, you know, doing like a heavy hit that does maybe like 20% damage all in one go. I know you like today's Jump Force Season 2 DLC characters lineup. Press that subscribe button with utter perfection and watch some of the videos linked down below and the playlist that pops up on your screen right now. Click the notification bell to get all the top anime fighting games and anime games information here on the place where the quality is in the name itself, perfection.